All right, here's a question from that relates to employer-employee relations. This is from Adam. Should an employer fire an employee who sincerely says or writes things that result in other employees disliking working with him? I guess this could relate to that Google case, you know, Demura, who was fired because he wrote something that offended people and they didn't want to work with him anymore, and management decided to get rid of him. Do you have any opinion?
So, okay, so that, again, there's so much to parse out there. But I think here is very contextual. But let me use a principle that I often use, and that is this distinction between being nice and being kind. When we're saying that, you know, in an employee-employer relationship, going back to the straighter principle, I need to give you the dignity of the fact that you have your opinions, your likes, your dislikes. I don't have to be 100% aligned with you in all of our beliefs to work with you. I only have to be aligned with you on the things that we agree to work on. And that's a very important distinction to make first and foremost, right? I don't have to be 100% aligned with you to work with you, but I do have to be aligned with you 100% on the things that we agree to work on. So first and foremost, you know, each and every one of us, going back to it, we have all kinds of opinions, thoughts, some of them well thought of, some of them not. The very nature of knowledge is that any one person is not going to be the omniscient, infallible expert on everything there is. Yep. So some of us have thought more deeply about some things and others haven't. Now, in the context of interactions in an employee-employer context, what I tend to focus on is what is it that we owe each other? We don't owe each other niceness, by the way, because niceness is, am I being nice to you means do you like me? As opposed to am I being kind to you, which is really about giving you that dignity. And in fact, niceness is going to cause me to be not honest with you. Whereas, because there the focus is, do you like me? And if anything that I say is going to cause you to not like me, then I'm not going to say that. And in doing so, maybe I'm not being very kind to you, because I need to give you some honest feedback on things that you're doing that are impacting you either, you know, negatively at work.
Yep.
Now, I could be wrong, and we can have a discussion on it. But here is where I think, going back to that context of, you know, what should an employer do? Well, first and foremost, I would focus on, are those opinions relevant to the workplace? Right? Are they causing discord in the workplace and impacting relationships? Yep. An employer does have a responsibility to make sure that everybody treats each other with dignity. And if that dignity is being violated, then I'm perfectly comfortable with saying, no, this person is creating an atmosphere which is not very conducive to being creative. Now, it's a lot more than, oh, this is the person that's at fault, right? You need to go into the details and really get to the true source of the conflicts before you can choose that. So I don't know if I'm giving you a long, rambling answer to a contextual question, but the point at the end of it is, in every one of these situations, the focus needs to be who's creating value, how is it being created, and are we creating systems and processes where people can thrive with working with each other.